Oh yeah,
I thought I'd take advantage of being the youngest one at 29 to be like, oh, I feel so old.
Well, as the oldest person here,
yes, officially, Audra is the oldest.
Who gets to say they're old. That's the official rule.
Yes,
well, Audra, how long have you known me, and how long have I been old? Because it's been a lot longer than I've known you.
It's still good to say I was born a 65-year-old. I have many witnesses on that.
I have no idea why my coloring is I'm purple.
It's the white balance from your background.
Oh my god, that's so good. The video it's turned Josh purple. It's nice.
I
It's
love
a
it, though.
good
You
look.
look like a cartoon integrated into your surroundings.
Great.
So keep
Okay.
it.
Cool.
I'm digging it.
All right, everybody. Welcome to the mixer. This is a quarantine episode. If you're watching the video, Josh looks purple and has flames behind them, which is great. It's a fantastic look. Everybody, this is another, quarantine episode. We have no real plan but conversation for probably the next, 2.5 hours, probably somewhere around like that. Right now, today, we've got Josh Dent with us.
Hello, I'm Josh. They, them pronouns.
We've got Ashley Litchford. You got anything else? And Josh, sorry.
Nope, that was it.
And they, them pronouns, stop. Hard stop. All right, Ash, what you got?
That was literally how I was going to introduce myself as well. I was going to go Ashley Litchford, she, her.
All right. Y'all are getting super interesting. And we also got Audra Allman Harvey with us.
Hi, Audra, she, her.
There you go.
I'm Tavius Marshall. I use, hymns. And we've got a special guest, a good friend of mine, met him through bar and then barred through drunk, Robert Montez.
I would say it's a little more, it's less vague than you make it sound. You make it sound like we brought home a stray cat.
I'd say that's how it started, pretty much like 3 years ago. That's definitely how it started. We were just grabbed him and we're like, hey, you're brown.
Yeah, but there's a difference. Okay.
Is that actually how it went? Because I wouldn't be surprised.
It wasn't the first time I was discovered in a dive bar.
No, that when we met you, the first time we met you, I just remember it being obviously loud as hell. We came late to the bar, so we were obviously not as caught up as everyone else was that evening for karaoke. And I think we were supposed to meet somebody there, and they weren't there yet. And you, Robert, were already there and sat at our table for some reason. No, there was
I've also been many people's second choice at a dive bar.
No. It wasn't that. In fact, I think you saved us. You saved us from somebody who was talking my ear off, and I couldn't get rid of them.
Well, I'm going to go with whatever your story is because I don't remember that first night at all.
No, I remember automatically going, all right, I'm adopting you and keeping you in a shoebox under my bed and feeding you hamster water. When you said, we were sitting at one of those high tops, and you go, okay, I'm really excited because I get to ask the question now. What are you? And,
yeah.
But this was coming after, I think you were the first person who was like, can I just ask? I mean, you said you guys are mixed, obviously. And
yeah, I was going to say, I recognize,
Yeah, but you said it in a statement instead of
the
asking,
oak.
First of all, which is annoying. But you said it in a statement, so I went, I like.
I was going to say.
Also, yet again, this is also in-house thing, which is, halvesies, fourth C's, full Z's, whatever we want to call the Z's, like, we can smell our own ilk. Like, it's just like, you can look over and be like, all right, so what's your blood type? Like, what?
I mean, like, in
the cocoa butter.
what situation in which anyone in this group has been at a party where someone else in this group has been there, and we haven't basically been around each other about 95% of that entire party.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
That's like, I think the only time I've had difficulties with that is our like parties that I've hosted, in which there are actually so many black and mixed people in a group that you're like, oh,
It's just
I can't really find the white people, so I can just talk to anyone. Okay.
Well, and for anybody that out there, I don't know if we've actually talked about this. Maybe we have. I kept records, but I'm not keeping them anymore. But you know, the way this whole podcast idea basically happened was Christmas parties and too many parties of mixed folk just all being around each other and being like, well, this seems like a bit. It's a long bit. Like we all have a lot of this shit to talk about. Let's do it so people can hear it, I guess, because why not?
You want to build a life off that bit?
You want to build a life? Yes. That's actually my answer most of the time. I think, I want to build my life off a bit. Yeah.
It's not even so much off a bit. It's that my life is already built off this bit. Can someone, can
someone get in on this with me?
No.
Yeah.
Can someone eventually pay me to do this?
Yeah.
If everyone else is going to make it difficult, if everyone else is going to make it a job, someone needs to pay me. Like, that's how I feel. If everyone else is making a job for me to be who I am, then you need to pay me to be who I am.
I think that's entirely fair.
Pretty sure that's my artist statement.
I think that could be it. That could be all you say.
Yeah.
Wait, Robert, can't
we
hear
lost
Robert.
we lost Robert audio. No.
Here you go.
It's going so well. Well, this will definitely be edited
It's
out.
a Zoom meeting. Like, of course, this has to happen at least once.
Yeah. Anybody the camera going up somebody's nose yet?
I was going to say, someone needs to be the grandma and put the laptop on their lap, actually, and then just, like, lean over the camera.
Okay. So while we're waiting on technical difficulties, I really want to do. Speaking of bits, I want to do. So I'm on a desktop computer, one of those fabled things, and it would be so fucking funny for me to move my tower onto my lap. like,
oh my god!
Can you hear me now?
Can you hear me any better? I'm by the plug.
You want to jump out and jump back in, Robert? We can just edit this out, maybe. Who knows?
Yeah, it's
if
fine.
not, or
and
not.
It's the easiest edit, and no one's going to be able to steal my bit. So.
I'm gonna think about a cheese while he's trying to call.
So I guess update while we're waiting on Robert. So Allie and I are in we're looking at houses like almost every day. So I fucking hate this process. It is really weird to be a poor brown person who's kind of tagging along for this experience. I'm just like, oh. Rob, Montez is connecting to audio. Nope. There still ain't no sound. We might have to find another mic.
Wait, can you hear me now?
Yes!
Okay.
Okay.
I'm like really married to this like gamer girl aesthetic, so I don't want to get another mic.
Oh, that's so fucking funny. I have the most like neutral headphones for that. Like,
question. So I'm looking for a pair of gamer headphones. I asked Tavius to look for a pair. I have a very small head and very small ears. Does anybody share my plight and have found something that felt comfortable?
There are options. Like we can definitely like go pretty hard on that shopping.
I definitely want cans.
Yeah.
Because I like.
There are a lot of really solid options, and like as long as your only goal is like basic listening, like you're not trying to do audio editing and basic talking and not doing like recording for like say like anything that like Tay would need recording for. There are like a million options that are pretty fucking solid and not very expensive.
Yeah, I'm not looking for like anything over $40.
You might struggle to get something that isn't the hottest of garbage.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, I think like between like the 50 and 75 range is probably where you're really going to find something that's like, I know. I've killed you.
So I mean, audience, if
they hear this.
Oh no, they're definitely hearing this part. As soon as Rob's back in, like, no, I mean it's ready to roll again. Definitely hearing about this audio cans problems. Actually,
it's
listen. Most of the reviews
this.
I've gotten are just that people like hearing us just talk. So who cares anymore? Who cares? Who cares?
I can talk about my hair products if they want to talk about that for a while.
We've already talked about that on a Mixer episode. Like, we specifically talked about hair.
Yeah, but I'm not sure if it actually came out. And also, we got a lot more. Rob, you there?
I was going to say, speaking of hair, you didn't even notice I'm
Oh, I know.
I
know. I haven't seen it since it was blonde, actually. I haven't seen it since it was blonde at all. It looks really good. It looks great.
Thank you.
It's good with the mustache, too. The contrast is really good.
Yeah, I feel like I get a pass because I've never seen you before.
So. I'm going to let it slide.
So I didn't know.
Did you do it yourself?
No, I had a mishap of trying to do it myself with Cisco's help, which wasn't a good look. So I went and got it done.
No, because I was going to say, like, the color itself is extremely platinum and not yellow at all. And I'm very, like, impressed.
Yeah, I was really nervous that it was just going to be yellow.
Lightening our hair, for those who don't know, is what some hairdressers would call the seventh circle of hell. And that it's literally a dice roll as to what you're going to get when you put bleach on our hair.
Yeah.
And so generally, hairdressers don't like to, gamble like that at work. So, but whoever did your hair did a fantastic job toning it. It looks really good on you.
I had a silver platinum fro that I did. It was a lot. It was a long time ago, good 20 years ago. But
go here.
But yeah, exactly. But the process, it literally took me almost a month of getting it lightened because like my hair consistency and to not make sure it melts. So like I had to go through a strong like red, then a strong yellow, then a strong white for like 2-week periods each time because it was a lot of hair. So then it finally got platinum, and it was kind of a masterpiece when it got there. I think Audra was the person who was there physically for it. But dear Lord, it was too much sitting. But yeah, it's a good one. It's a good platinum short hairstyle there for the podcast audience who's just listening to this. And not watching it.
Curiosity, we only talk about aesthetics on the podcast. That's
I like that painting behind you. Audra, that painting behind you is really good. Let's talk about that painting and how it visually has aesthetics.
I low-key love like podcasts that just purely obviously spite the audio listeners. Like, no, I'm not filling you in on any of the what I'm talking about. Like, you can figure it out, whatever, fuck you. Okay.
I think that's my other podcast, man. That's the one where I don't care anything about what the audience understands.
That's true.
Yeah.
Okay, no, so out of curiosity, how long did the bleaching process actually take you?
I want to say it was like an hour or 45 minutes. I don't know.
What? There's no way it took that little.
Well, like my curl pattern isn't like super tight or anything. I mean, like I can't get my hair to like lock up enough to like pick it out or anything.
Neither can I.
Not all curl pattern though, because my hair to bleach it even to like lighter than orange is about 2 hours.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, admittedly, we're talking about an amount of hair where like Robert's got very short hair. That's clearly not a fro.
No, but it's also closer to your scalp, which means that the heat from your scalp is making the bleach process faster, which I understand.
Yeah.
But like, I was just curious because I mean, I've even had friends that have a very, very tight curl pattern and have buzzed their hair, and still bleaching it evenly was very difficult to do. So I'm extremely jealous because fuck you, I tried to do this and this is how I ended up with a mohawk.
I mean, I'd only bleached it once before when I was like 16 and it was really yellow, but I liked it. As soon as I cut my hair, everyone around me was like, you look like shit. And I was like, oh, thanks.
Are you serious?
Well, I was in Germany and I decided, like, on a trip, and I decided to get my hair cut and didn't speak any German and was just like pointing at pictures and being like, I want that.
Oh God.
And when I came home, like, nobody said anything to me about it, but then as soon as it was done, they were like, I just don't like the way that your skin looked when your hair was like that. I was like, well, I had that.
Oh my God. Robert, can you, I want you to describe what the picture you pointed at to like, what did that look like, and then what did it turn out to be? That's what I want to hear.
Well, because I wanted a mohawk, so I was just doing this. and then I pointed at a picture of someone who was blonde.
Mohawk hands over your head, just like look like mohawk, like a stripe. You wanted a stripe down your head.
I want to know what the sign language was that the hairdresser took. That's what I'm saying.
Me holding up a picture, because you know they have those books or whatever, and
I know exactly what you mean.
Some white person with the blonde hair, and I was like, this and this.
I'm trying to think, like, if somebody, so did they just buzz it did they buzz everything?
Yeah, they buzzed the sides and then bleached the, like, mohawk down the middle.
Shut up. And it was yellow?
Yeah, it turned out very yellow, but I was living my life. I thought I looked so cool.
Well, that's all that matters then.
Well, also,
really.
So I'm going to pay attention to that detail of, you were 16, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, how many fucking 16-year-old looks like anything other than a hot mess? Like,
yeah, that's true.
That's fair.
That is very true.
I
hands down look like a hot mess at 16.
Well, yeah, because you're trying to figure out who the fuck you are as a person, and also you're so chock full of fucking hormones that you want to die.
Or fuck things to death.
And really also that, and sometimes those are the same things.
Yep.
And like also like people who are like who wear makeup, who are just discovering makeup,
and don't know how to do it at all.
It takes practice. It takes practice.
That is why it is an art.
You're probably going to look like a clown for the first year or so of you doing it. Hence 16-year-olds being a hot mess.
Yes. Yes.
Also,
although there are some 16-year-olds that I have seen that walk around with a full face of makeup, and I'm just like,
they have internet now, though.
I know.
Right.
There are beauty blogs with millions of followers that are like, here's how to do this.
Yet again,
you were lucky if your mom sold Mary Kay.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
you were lucky if your mom was in a pyramid scheme.
Again, I mean, there's YouTube that helps with. I mean, honestly, it's for half skills. Like, you know, anytime something's wrong around my car or my house, I do feel constantly lazy because I go like, I could YouTube this and figure out how to fix this. I'm just not gonna spend the 9 hours to actually figure out how to take my engine's fan out and replace it. But you know, like if you have the time, which definitely like kids sure do. Actually, we have even more in quarantine. But like, you know, you got the time to go like, if you want to learn it, somebody's there to teach you how to do it. Like, which is super dope. All I had was libraries and assholes with no answers.
I wasn't sure where this was going, but I was like, if it takes you 9 hours to change a tire, you're doing something wrong.
No, not change a tire, but definitely an engine fan, yes. A tire, no, you're definitely doing it wrong. Unless, actually, no, I've had this experience. Unless you're broken down off 440 and it's pouring rain, and when your tire popped, it popped the back of the car, so that your tire iron popped out. So you had to just then grab 2 screwdrivers and grab them like side over the nug and then twist slowly. Then twist slowly.
This is an oddly specific YouTube video.
It is. It is.
And somehow I bet it's there.
I bet it's there. It's weird. It's weird. It's super weird. Yeah. Yeah.
And it's from some guy in Moldova.
Yeah. Yeah. It's really strange, but he understands.
Really important related question. Audra, what are you drinking?
Tequila.
Tequila.
I might have to step out and go downstairs and grab some mezcal.
Well, you're welcome to join me. I wish I had mezcal. That's what I'm in the mood for, but I don't.
It's gonna be an asshole. You can just drop some liquid smoke.
Oh, no.
Do not do that, audience.
No,
that is
not
not
going
a
to.
chef recommendation. But it is fucking funny for like the 3 people who are like, okay.
That's bad. That's bad. Don't do that.
Barbecue tequila, whatever.
I mean, our listener base, the 3 people. Actually, no. Actually, thanks, by the way. Like, our numbers are going up, and thanks for people who are listening to us.
Oh, no, I was saying for the 3
people
people who heard that and would go, maybe.
Maybe? Oh, yeah. Yeah.
The people who are the reason that we have warnings on irons that say not to iron your clothes while you're wearing them.
Yeah.
That's not what we meant.
Yeah, that's
I wasn't ready for that.
I am shocked to hear that because I don't read irons.
Okay. I love instruction language.
This tells me you didn't grow up in the 80s because we read everything.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of entertainment.
When you were bored, reading the tags on things is the best shit in the world. There are 2
I just went
warnings
around the house.
Additionally, there are 2 warnings on irons. One is do not iron your clothes while you are wearing them, and the other is do not try to iron drapes while they're hanging.
Yep.
And that means that 2 incidences of dumb fuckery happened.
No, and I mean, no. If anybody has access to LexisNexis or any form of legal software out there who's listening, I'm definitely assuming that somebody had a legal case that was won with them at least one person ironing clothes with it on them, and that case happened against the company, which is why they then put it on the tag. And then next, curtains, because yet again, when it gets that specific, it's
someone did that.
Somebody ruined it for everybody else. In fairness, in a hot class, because again, I did sew my project. So you can just, not necessarily go out of your way to completely ruin what people intended you to do.
That is true. I mean, I'm pretty sure that the sewing, Singer didn't intend me to sew my finger to.
Oh yeah, I've done that one too. Yeah.
So, I mean, they're pretty clear about don't put your fingers in the shit that, is moving.
Yeah, but
yet again, because they probably got sued. Because everybody was just like, common sense, don't put your finger in the goddamn Singer.
And then I was like, but why?
But why? I mean, what? Oh, what? Okay, so tattoos are cool, but what if I just sewed stuff to my finger?
Shut up.
Not permanent.
Logic.
Yep.
It's like a piercing for clothes. It's a fashion piercing.
Okay, see, you're getting really close to some niche other things territories though, because needle play is definitely a fucking thing.
Oh yeah, it's definitely a thing.
I may have an affinity for it.
A sewing machine.
Yeah, no, I would prefer a registered, like somebody who's in the kink scene who's a registered nurse be doing that. Thank you.
Yeah.
Versus just a random singer that you just come across. Let's.
Rather than a 1950s singer classic. No, that's not what you want.
I'm good. My body don't need that.
Yeah. No.
I like not infections. I'm not sure what's going on.
Reference is going away. All right, reference. Nope.
I'm sorry. I was trying to very casually sneak out for a cigarette, but I realized I had to take you with me.
Oh, so the background is moving. Right now, it just looks like you are on like
trying to,
the
like-
first office chair.
All right.
I don't
Okay.
want Senpai to see me smoking a cigarette.
No, you're fine. It's just your movement is the only thing that's moving. Your background is completely static. So you just look like
Yeah, yep. It just looked like you. Okay, it looked literally just like you were doing this
like you were
over and
in
over
the
again. Like you were just
office
going
chair.
up and yep.
Oh my god.
It was
Okay.
beautiful.
Ooh.
I can't. Oh, it's incredible. Oh, it's
No.
amazing. Are you
Yeah. So audio audience, that was a good visual there for you.
Yeah, I'm really
Check
glad
that
we
out on our
explained that
YouTube.
very clearly.
Yeah, it was
I am
upsy downs
bringing-
and up and down and weird.
Oh, shit. Okay, that was great.
that was
I
amazing.
am bringing all of the visual medium to the audio listeners.
And I'm so here for it.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's like a painting at this point.
It is. But not like we're actually describing the painting, like we're standing in a gallery looking at a painting and going, wow, that's a painting.
Yo, let's
I really-
there.
I really love.
Yes.
I just love the
completely
jux.
unhelpful docents at an art gallery.
Yes.
I'm down. As soon as like going to the Frist isn't a fucking death sentence for half of us.
Good God.
Things to look forward to if I ever get to leave my house.
Right? I still want to, this would be a good year to implement the, oh my God, there's an actual name for those air courier tubes.
Pneumatic tubes?
Thank you. Pneumatic tubes.
Thank you. I was
Pneumatic tubes.
like, I know there's a name,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah,
Swish tubes, as I think they're called officially.
swish tubes.
Yeah, swish
Uh,
swish.
I just want to see like a whole network of those, a la Dr. Seuss, all over the city. They go between people's houses and stuff.
I would send you random shit all day.
I know, I would too.
That would be all I would do.
God,
I
Ash and
think-
Tave, you have no idea what you're in for.
Like
I mean,
Oz
So yeah, I think I would honestly just send like any random text thought just that way instead. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
oh my God,
Just kidding.
racist dude, so racist at Kroger, totally yelled at me. Shoot, shoot. That's how that's going.
It's on like a
You
paper
gotta-
towel and Sharpie.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Like the idea of like, you know, waking up in the morning and like seeing like a pile of letters from Tave in my room that are just like written poorly in Sharpie on paper towels from our like fucking like kitchen. It's just like
that's how most of my communication's
Okay.
happening from this point.
I will let Allie know that we have some slightly different needs for our house now.
And by the way, for any
You're
audience,
former bank.
yes, we need to move into a bank. Also, for any listeners, if we can get that going, you know, petition people, whatever. If we can get that going, we will send you at least like, if you donate, we'll send you at least one pneumatic tweet a day from us. For real, if we can get pneumatic tubes to your houses. Donate
Under the
to
caveat
us.
that you also solve white supremacy. So,
Yes, yeah. It's a both though. Interestingly enough, once white supremacy is ended, pneumatic tubes, boom, like that.
instantaneous.
It's just absolutely. It's a direct changeover.
But you do realize that that should be just like the writer in anything that we have a contract for from now on. It's just like, yes, absolutely. We would love to come to your, your con, and
We just
only
only
yellow M&Ms.
Yeah.
Only yellow M&Ms in the green room and white supremacy. Like those are the things.
Yes, yeah.
I feel like this pneumatic tube thing is a little steampunky, which means we're really gonna have to get rid of white supremacy.
yeah, that's
Wrong.
definitely not a
Not
good.
wrong there at all.
Yeah.
Woo.
Steampunk isn't a good place for brown people? What are you talking about?
I don't know. All fiction I've read. Okay, that's not true. There are outliers by Black authors.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
do with that what you will.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I mean,
Are you smoking that, or is it just decorative?
But
you have
Is
such a problem with. Oh my God, you're one of the people. You're one of the cursed people. All right, so yet again, audio listeners, I've been holding a cigarette for a long time. It's a thing I do. It is a thing. But there's a
I
group
feel
of
personally
people.
attacked.
Yes, there's a group of people, and Rob is one of those people where they just always have to, like, they go, do I need to light it? And they offer me a light, or they just always have. It's so, all right. So it's habitual. That's the problem with like smoking, right? It's more of the habit half the time than the actual nicotine for me. So I can hold a cigarette for forever because it's hope. It's a promise for the future nicotine that I will get. It's just a little hope between my fingers.
Really?
Yet again, smoking is a horrible, disgusting thing. Anybody out
don't
there,
do it, but
don't
if you do
fucking
it, I feel you.
If you do it, stop now.
But also, I'm probably literally going to bolt out of the conversation at some point because
That's right.
It's very much like when I'm watching a movie and everyone's smoking, and it's just like, are you smoking yet? Are you smoking yet? I'm being assaulted by the cigarette in my hand. I wasn't even gonna smoke tonight. That's bullshit. I have a bottle of wine.
Yes, I'm your Mad Men or X-Files. When I watch X-Files or Mad Men, it's my problem. Like, I watch either of those, and I go like, I need a drink and a cigarette. I need both of these. Stop doing it so much, guys. Like,
you can't
be peer pressured by the TV.
Yes. Also, anti-smoking commercials. They're real bad because I just go like, oh, fuck, I forgot about cigarettes, guys. I need to go do that. Like, you're right.
Especially because the people in anti-smoking commercials always smoke so slowly.
Yeah.
For some reason, they're always like,
sad smoke.
Best cigarette I've ever had in my life. And I'm like, I know.
This is horrible for advocating anything good to the audience. This is,
why not watch someone cough their lung up?
Yeah.
I mean, do that for like your commercial if you want to be anti-smoking. Don't just show me a bunch of smoking people who seem to enjoy it and not have any problems.
Or alternatively, they'll show a bunch of people who are clearly trying not to have a smoke. And now I'm stressed and I need nicotine.
I don't know, like after smoking in Australia and like, because their cigarette boxes are not fucking around. They're just like, here's a fucking smoker's lung. And like, just like that. And then like doing the actual research of like what is probably going to happen to me. Yeah, that didn't fucking work. Y'all, just leave me the fuck alone.
Like,
so here's, and this is yet, why not talk about smoking? Let's talk about smoking.
Sure.
The conversation we're on. Okay, so here's my essential problem with the way campaigns governmentally have been working against smoking, which is one, trying TV propaganda, which yet again doesn't work on youth. It doesn't work on adults. It doesn't work on anybody. Showing lots of pictures of horrible shit actually does have some turnaround. But what you're doing also, at least in Tennessee systematically, which is making it more annoying. Like, let's make it a little more expensive. Let's make it where you can't slightly do it here. To me, it is horrible. And I would honestly be fine if we made it illegal. That doesn't even bother me. But stop making it slightly more annoying every time. You know what I'm saying? Like, the whole thing that they're doing right now is just like, oh, I guess I got to walk 10 feet that way. Like, I'm not saying people need to be around smoke. It's not great for them. Smoke's not great for anybody. But literally, like, all the policies are just like adjust just a tiny annoying amount. And that's like, we're not fixing anything that way, guys. Like, it's not changing anything. Like,
so it's stressful, anxiety, not needed.
And like, who of the smokers, like, all of us are smokers, so who of us doesn't want to be smoking anymore?
This is not an intervention. This is not what I fucking signed up for. If any of you bitches pull out a letter, two of you don't even know me, so don't tell me how much you care about me. No,
Rob, my idea was to bring two strangers to your
You brought these people here to attack me.
Yeah, there is no podcast. There's not any.
Shit, no. No, I would love to. I quit I didn't smoke for the first 2 months of quarantine.
Yeah.
It fucking sucked. Also, nicotine gum is fucking awful.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like the dosages are not for people like me. I don't like. They're for people who are smoking like 2 packs a day.
Yes.
Like they're not for. I'm like I don't.
I was never smoking that amount.
Right. So like I like having like 2 pieces of gum and I'm like sick and I'm like,
Yeah.
right now I'm craving it and I want to die.
Because I just chewed on a bunch of pesticide for 45 minutes.
Also, like, so it's also the conceptual problem with habit. And by the way, just to let anybody know, look up brown numbers and heart disease from smoking. Also look up numbers of depression for why, societal things for why, and all of these issues.
How many of us are dealing with PTSD? How many of us are fucking poor?
Yeah, I mean, I was raised in a military family, and there's lots of issues with brown people and cigarettes being handed out over and over for years in the military, like they were stress relievers. You know, there's all sorts of reasons.
Yeah.
Smoking's good.
There's also a really predatory thing in the gay community of like how many fucking smoking reps like lurk in bars.
Yo, it's fucking wild. Like
It's
that's actually
kind of nuts.
That's when I knew East Nashville was officially gentrified. Like sitting at a fucking bar in East Nashville and having one of those cigarette reps come up to me and be like, "You want a free pack of smokes?" And I'm like, "Wait, what?"
The only difference being that when back in the day, when I was waiting tables and bartending and all that stuff, we would call them cigarette fairies, because they would come in and I don't know if can they still hang it out packs of cigarettes, because
No, not in Tennessee.
they can only do coupons now,
How
right?
how recent was that? Because like
It's been
12 years ago.
no, because I've definitely had a pack of cigarettes handed to me by one of those people in less than 4 years.
They shouldn't have been doing that for at least the past 6 years or so now. They should be only handing out coupons unless something reversed back.
Yeah, I don't know. It doesn't really matter. It just that you would be like mid your third double in a row and you've run out of smokes and you know you don't have a break long enough to go get another pack, and in walks a cigarette fairy and you're like, thank you, God. And you're like on your way to bring drinks to one table and you just like throw your ID, frisbee your ID at them and you're like, I'll be right back.
Yeah. I do find like so like we were talking about everybody's ages and whatever. Like I'll be 40 next year. I've been smoking for like 20 years now, which was not like my intention. Like I was fine smoking through my 40s, and I know this is hard to explain, but like it's a hard concept for me to even explain right. But like I was fine smoking through 40, 50, but I wasn't planning on smoking for 20 years, if that makes any sense. Like it's a weird different thing. Like, and I don't know, maybe I thought I'd be a pipe guy by now, you know what I'm saying? Like something more like refined, maybe a friend holder with it, like a nice French hand rolled. I don't know. Like,
as you can see, I smoke a pipe and my own meats.
Little shade, just a touch.
Follow me to the larder.
Yeah, I'm actually having like a real life crisis about this right now, because I didn't expect to be alive past 30.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Just the things that I have survived, I'm like, it's just one more and I'm just fucking dead. So cool. But now I'm here and I'm like, oh shit. Do I plan for other things? How do I do that? Because
That was definitely a lot of my bad choices too, were just so many things going on with health in so many directions. And obviously that's a stupid reason to smoke and drink.
Yeah.
It happened. Because you're like, I'm poor and I might be dying anyway.
Yeah.
That's terrible. Like, don't do that. That's you actually want therapy, but if you could find it and afford it.
That is the only good thing about fucking quarantine for me. I have a therapist now.
Yay, that's awesome.
Yeah, no. It's yeah, when the the COVID thing was hitting around, I guess, February, so like to me, yeah, once it hit Italy, I was just like, we're fucked. Everybody's fucked, the world's fucked. It's still, it was before the Seattle thing. I listened to too much NPR. But like, as soon as it happened, I was like, pre-existing conditions, at least for a breathy thing, shouldn't be smoking every day for 20 years. That's definitely probably not the best path. But interestingly enough, quitting while getting stressed about maybe dying, because I'm out there all the time doing, courier work, like, it makes it harder to stop smoking because I'm just like, I'm just gonna probably die all the time. So, it's a nice relief. It's almost like fatalistic in a touch. Rob, you're gonna say something?
Fatalistic.
I was gonna say I didn't quit smoking after I missed my daughter's piano recital, so Corona is not really gonna make it happen for me. She practiced for so long, but I needed to smoke. I was bored. Most of those kids were bad.
Oh shit! It's actually really sad. That hits me like actually in some really sensitive spots.
Oh no!
No, because neither one of my parents have seen me perform more than like 3 times max.
Because
I do this for no, not because of smoking, just because they are not supportive art parents.
But like, Josh is a cellist. They're an amazing cellist that plays for a living.
If you're gonna pick up an addiction, I highly recommend an addiction to Josh playing the cello, which you're part of my weekly like stress relief.
I did not know that. Yay!
Yeah, that's the thing. It's actually when I'm writing, I listen to your old cello album is on my. I programmed myself with certain albums so I can just turn them on and I like start writing. And your album, one of those.
Wow, how did I find that productivity in quarantine for cello? No, but no, that's the dark thing that just touches on like the kind of some of the shit that I know we've talked about, like the mixer in general has talked about, like, and like for past things, and like I don't know how the fuck I got here. Like I just like walked in here one day and I was like, oh, I guess I'm a professional cellist now, because I didn't have that support. Like I didn't have like I think the first time my parents heard me perform was my high school graduation. Like I think that was the first time they had heard me, and they had seen me one other time for a recital in college, and that was it. And I don't, the audience, you may or may not know this, I've performed like thousands of times at this point. Like,
yeah. Holy shit. I had no idea. That's insane.
No, it's pretty fucked up.
Is it solely from being not supportive, or is it from not
it's like I'm tired from work, why would I go to this thing after work? Or I'm tired from work, why would I go to this thing before work?
Gotcha.
Which I'm like, that's as sitting as an adult, I'm like, well then don't have kids.
Yeah. That's the answer to that question.
Then if you are too tired to parent, then like, and it's not because of like legitimate health reasons, then don't do that.
Yeah, I agree.
Rob, thoughts?
I have to pee. I'm so sorry. Weird segue. I have to pee, but I want to keep smoking, so I'm going to do that and come back.
Okay. We're going to be here. I can't hear you.
We lost you.
No, I feel a little bit bad. He was not expecting that curveball. But also, here we are.
Oh, yeah. No, I mean, so, like, that's parents Like, I guess when I was really young.
I like the mosaic for Rob's porch, though.
Oh yeah, no, it's good. It's good. It's a cool video game style. It looks like there's a portal ripped through the anime style there.
Like it's trying so hard to be kawaii.
Yeah.
But it's just not.
It's just
good.
not, though.
Yeah, and I mean, I think I'm pretty sure everyone here has like hang-ups like that.
Oh, yes. Well, my mother would come, but then she would make passive-aggressive comments about what happened.
Yeah, I mean, you talked about some of this stuff in your book, right? Did I just plug your book? I think I just plugged your book.
So I've actually had a really interesting creative process where I was down with a migraine for 47 days and couldn't really move or do a whole lot more than a couple times a week. And my family is awesome. They're really used to this stuff right now. So they just periodically come visit me when I'm stuck in bed for long periods of time. But I realized what my book is actually about and what the next book is. And it's actually part of a trilogy. So like I have a whole plan, which is amazing. So I'm actually going back, I'm editing some things because there's a couple pieces in there that I still really like, but I don't know that they belong in the book. They don't necessarily tell the story as far as now that I know where the story is going next. I don't know that they tell the story. But yeah, I talk a lot about my mother's passive aggression through poetry and other short form work. That's it. Along with my father's journal assholery, but you know, it's all poetic. And
I'm curious, like just everyone in here being, Rob, if you don't mind me asking, what are you?
Are we gonna do the what are you? Have we ever even done that?
We've talked. I have not addressed it with those exact words.
No.
The first episode, didn't we do what are you?
But we never said
Yeah,
what
we never answered the question.
Yeah, we specifically didn't answer the question.
Yeah. I think
I was gonna say, is there a precedent for like dodging this?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
Also, if feel free to dodge said question. I'm only asking because what I'm about to say is prescient on the answer to this question.
I was gonna say I am what I do when I move ass.
I like it.
So that's
My most common answer to this when somebody asks me what I am is that I am a 9-foot tall purple fire-breathing dragon. I chose a smaller form for everyday wear. My wingspan makes it very difficult to get through doors.
Yeah.
But in reality, I am European, Native, Black, and Asian. Short form answer that I know of. I might do it.
I was gonna say I want to answer this in a way that's not like I have a white mom who likes black dick, but like that's kind of where I am.
You know what? Honestly, that might be the best answer you could have possibly given. So,
but it's so cliche,
and it's also a stereotype for a fucking reason. The fetishization of black men is a whole ass problem.
I was gonna say my mom votes Republican, but she likes black dick, so it all evens out in her mind. I don't know.
It's the opposite for me. My dad is a very hardcore Republican, Trump supporter.
Yikes!
That whole thing, and yet he's never been married to a white woman in his life, and he's on his third marriage.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that might have something to do with it too.
At least he's an upward POC opportunist for fetishization. You know what I'm saying? Like
it's not like a specific fetish. It's
right.
just like
brown, just
general.
like super love brown. Just
yeah. So
I mean, I just but on the comment of like being supportive, like my parents growing up, both my parents were incredibly art supportive, like showed up to nearly everything I did all the time, rehearsals and all performances and that kind of stuff. It wasn't until like my dad started going through some shit in my mid-teens, so he started not showing up that much. But all through high school and even when I first started performing with Fall.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, your mom is always there. Usually sitting next to my mom, which I found hysterical.
Yep.
Ash performed in ballet and various dance forms previous to add some context.
Yeah.
The art she's describing.
So
Yeah.
you also move ass.
I do also move ass.
Yes. Yes.
Although I could not move ass.
In a dance company together.
Yes.
For mutual disability on sets.
It's weird going from my career goals being something that was solely based around moving all of my body to now my career goals being like, what can I move the least in?
Amen to that. That's my
I don't understand. Like it's different going from, you know, being like, I was really into being active when I was a kid, and then I got into office work, and now I want to blah blah. No, it's like for me it was an abrupt change and not my own decision. So it's odd having that kind of career shift from arts and from also having a relatively tight-knit support group of artists in one field to having that cut off and now like, here, go find your new network that you should have been cultivating for the last 20 years.
Right.
And you haven't been because you've been working on something else.
Josh, I feel like you had a reason you were asking us the what are you question.
I did.
Yes.
So we had loosely talked about passive aggression.
Yeah.
And I'm really curious about everyone's like relationship with passive aggression, having multiracial, somewhat household type or upbringing type situations, because I know I have a fucking ton of triggers because passive aggression itself is something that I very keenly relate to whiteness.
Really?
Where I think about like all my interactions, like, yo, at POC, I might not like how the aggression comes out, but it ain't passive. And it is not, at least in my own personal experience, it's like the issue of being able to speak your mind and not have to make me second guess, am I doing something wrong, without me even being allowed to ask, am I doing something wrong? Like that's an issue that I've seen a lot of, and I've noticed a lot of like even trying to relate to other people that I struggle with. Because I mean, most of y'all know me. I am pretty forward when it comes to most things.
Really high
to a fault. What? You speak your mind? You express boundaries? What?
Oh my God,
what?
that's so like fresh.
Oh God, I need you to not do that.
Yeah, that's, I'm not here for that. But also, it's pretty fucking funny.
It's
So
really
my
strange.
experience would be I got it from both parents. My father's form of passive aggression was usually followed up with very angry aggression. But he was also, like, he identified as Black Native, but he was very assimilated. So, like, that passive aggression probably came from the white side, you know? Like,
that assimilation?
Yeah. I mean, because it was forcible assimilation through multiple.
Yeah.
If anyone doesn't know about the history of colonization in Louisiana, look it up. Yeah.
Rob, you were trying to say something?
It's so weird to hear you frame this as passive aggression being a white thing, because it really hit me so hard when you were saying that, because my mom, who is white, is incredibly passive aggressive and incredibly narcissistic, and it took me a long time, like, moving the fuck out, going to college far away, sucking some dick openly, to be like, I don't have time for dancing around the point. Like, it is what it is. And I mean, I think framing that passive aggressiveness versus like being blunt and open, like, I do feel like it's a way to recontextualize this like stereotype of like Black people as like aggressive or loud. It's like, well, no, it's like the shit is out here.
Yeah, being
in
direct
public.
is not necessarily aggressive.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And like, granted, this is an incredibly culturally very where are you from question, because like this question would be very different if we were a room full of Japanese people talking about directness.
Yeah.
That would be, it would be a totally contextually different, but that's not the case for us specifically.
Right.
And I noticed like particularly like between like, you know, my just, you know, Black, Indigenous people, color communities, we just fucking talk about the things we need to talk about. And if someone steps out of line, we fucking call them out on it. And then the person who stepped out of line is like, oh shit, my bad. And if they don't, it's like, okay, bye.
Right. If not, it's like fuck off. And then, you know, sometimes the argument happens and shit. But like, it's, well, I mean, okay. And so even on my thought of this and like passive aggression and what aggression means and different things, like I had to learn when I was young, I couldn't stand comfortably like this. I couldn't. Like standing like this meant aggression to white people. Like it
With
did.
your arms crossed?
Yeah, when my arms, it always meant aggression. And I know this is like a different style thing of arm cross, blah, blah, blah. But literally the only way I started fixing it was just going to like parade stance. Just putting my arms like back here with my legs standing wide so that it just looked I was at attention for whoever the fuck I was dealing with.
Well,
Because-
technically at ease.
I'm exposing my soft underbelly. I am no threat.
Yeah, exactly that. Like exactly that. Like that's the only. But that's like it's. So passive aggressiveness is what has made me have this conflict. Like passive aggressiveness is what makes me angry. Like I can't. It makes me shut down and walk out of conversation. My mother has the same issue. She is white, and she has the same. Like everything comes with a touch of like so it has this much aggression and this much passive aggression, right? But everybody else's scale is usually like smaller, right? So she has so much passive aggression and so much aggression that it's just all this like scale of like all of it's too much, like all of it's on fire, but there's no way to deal with it, especially if she ever asks questions or says things like, you know, why do sometimes black people just act like niggers? Where you just go like, that's aggression and passive aggression at the same time. And I don't know how to answer that question, Mom. Like, I don't. Like I don't, because I have to rewrite your whole history. You know what I'm saying? Like, I have to rewrite the whole fucking goddamn thing.
You know,
like,
that's an interesting thing you just said, though, and that makes me think about this as speaking of whiteness as a behavior and respectability politics amongst other white people and how you're supposed to behave versus racism and how you view other classes of people.
Yep.
Because I think that there is a distinct difference there between the nature of direct racism that like what you're that question is just that's fucking racist. There's no like that's not even like subtly like systematic or no, it's just literally direct thing. But that's different than when you didn't clean your room the exact right way and the response to that was to like smolder at you, and then 2 days later when you still don't know what the fuck is going on, why is your mom being an asshole, them like scream at you because you didn't fucking get it, because they couldn't just fucking say, hey, can you clean your room?
Yeah. There's definitely something too with like, I'm actually working and writing about this, like the weaponizing of belonging. It's like it's held out, a lot of us who are mixed, it's held out as like a carrot by the white family, but it's a constantly moving boundary. So the idea of what you are or are not supposed to do is never fixed. But they also can't communicate clearly. So as you say, Josh, like, you're getting all this shit for stuff you don't have. There's so many things from my childhood, man. Like, I would love to know what I did wrong. I still don't, because no one ever just fucking told me. They tried to manage me in a direction, and I'm real fucking hell, right? Like, I know that I'll first read a lot of people assume I'm white, but there's something in the interaction that gives away the game, and I'm immediately shoved to the we'll just get her to chase after the little laser pointer thing, and I just don't understand. And it doesn't help adding like mental health stuff, and also like, neurodivergence into that, which is there's a pretty high rate of all of that in UC communities.
I mean, I think it's interesting for you to talk about belonging, because I think there is a charitable version of passive aggressive behavior where it's like addressing an issue, but like not disturbing the overall vibe of the group. And I think if you're read in on what that expectation is, then sometimes that can be a way of like addressing an issue, but not disturbing everyone else in the group. But like, I've never interpreted it that way, because even before I was sort of awake to being half, being gay, having various non-normative positions, like I never really felt like that group dynamic management was for me, you know?
Yeah, it never felt like for me either. And again, if it's just about appearance, if any of us should be able to get in, I should, but I can't. Part of that is being neurodivergent, in that if there is any form of benevolent passive aggression, it has gone right over my head.
Well, and that's the thing is like okay, so there's a difference between like being in a situation, and maybe this could be passive aggressive, where like say I'm with one of any of y'all, and you've had too many drinks and we're around too many white people, and it's just like, hey, this ain't the situation to be saying the shit you're in right now. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, stop yelling at the white folk right now. Just stop yelling at the, you know what I'm saying? But there's a way though of going like tut, you know what I'm saying? Like that there's that to me is passive aggression, maybe in a healthy form of like, hey, maybe not the situation. To me though, it always gets used when you pull somebody aside. And when you pull somebody aside to do that, that's the time for clarity, not the time for like, hey, this is a secret way to say that you need to calm the fuck down. You know what I'm saying? Like,
this is a secret way to say that I'm sorry, the salt is a little too spicy.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
I don't have a lot of experience with the being pulled aside part. I
don't
normally,
either.
like, my family is like, we're gonna be real shitty to you right here in front of everybody. So like,
Yeah,
well, I mean,
like the classic one, I felt like my mom at the dinner table being like, it sure would be nice if someone would pass me the salt.
Yeah, that kind of shit. And it's not.
Oh,
no, that's how I
yeah.
leave the room. No, that's how I leave the room.
Oh no, I
leave the
was
room.
still at her, but
is it that kind of, it's that I consider passive aggression. And my mom was so anti passive aggression that it goes into more being trained. And I know that I've taken it too far, but I appreciate the training, but I've taken it to like way too far. Where if someone is passive aggressive to me, my response is aggression.
Oh yeah.
So, like, if someone's like, well, you know what? If you don't want me here, then I guess I'll just go. I'm like, fine, fucking leave.
Yeah, please leave.
Do you want me to get your bag? Come on, let's pack. I'll help you. I can fold
I'm
clothes.
the worst about that.
Let's go.
Also, like, especially because it's most of the time like, okay, if I said I wanted you to leave, you should be out the door. If I didn't say I want you to leave, then what are we talking about here? Well, if you want me to leave, I didn't say that. So I'm not going to change this whole conversation into your interpretation. If that's how you feel, have a nice day.
I can do it. But like, that's like, in a fucked up way, I'm thankful for that kind of experience, I guess, because now I'm going to say what I'm going to say. And I have gotten better with age to ascertain situations that may not be worth my time to actually put that energy to actually say what I want to say. Where like sometimes I'm like, oh wait, this is actually a waste of my time. Right. So I'm just not going to say the thing. Versus, but I'm not going to be passive aggressive about it. I'm just not going to say anything. I'm a fucking leave.
Question: do you mean training like in passive training where you soaked in that type of behavior, or do you mean like the training of somebody else breaking you out of that?
No, I mean me breaking me out of that.
Okay, that's
like basically, teenage Josh is just like this methodology of like playing puzzle pieces with people is bullshit, and I hate it, and I'm not going to do that.
And that's the lowest way to communicate.
For fucking serious, like, yeah. I
don't know. You got a thought. A thought.
Well, I was just gonna say, I mean, like, I don't really talk to my parents if I can help it at all. I mean, I haven't, my mother is the queen of passive aggression and guilt and that shit, and I haven't talked to her in about 5 years. But I think the most recent sort of experience with that has been at work, and the sort of passive aggression that like triggers me to respond as myself. But then it's like, but then that deflection of like, what are you talking about? Like, why are you responding so negatively? Like,
Oh, it makes me so angry.
it's infuriating.
It's all about like casting you in a role, and you didn't show up for that audition. You didn't get lines in advance. You have no idea what character you're supposedly playing in this person's mind, but they're gonna talk to that version of you the whole time, and they're literally break out of that.
It's, I mean, in the same way that like my mom would like weaponize like the family and like, oh well, you know, your grandparents aren't going to be around forever, like that sort of thing.
No.
It's
My
that
mom
at
weaponized.
work.
So I'm you know, like I said, I'm 39 now. My mom weaponizes that all the time, just as an average thing. Like most of the time when I have a conversation with her on the phone, it's literally like, well, you know, I'm not going to be here long.
Well, and it's
Just
like,
go like, well, why are we talking about you not being here long?
You have a lease agreement?
We should. You have a lease agreement.
oh my God.
Like that's how I respond to that kind of shit. It's that I can't. You can't pull that on me because I don't respond. I purposefully will not respond in the way that you ask me to. But she does that to you, and it frustrates me. And I don't like it when people use that kind of language. One, it is the slowest way to talk. Just say what you fucking need. And I don't like it when I watch that happen to other people, because it also makes me just want to like jump in front with my, I don't care. Here, shoot it at me, because I'll bite you back. Like,
also, Ash is the gatekeeper for my mom, though. Like, in the sense of like, my mom's entirely aware that I talk to her because Ash encourages me to. Like that's the situation there. Like if Ash didn't encourage me to talk to her, then I wouldn't.
you should talk.
Right, I get it. You should. You should.
So I'm curious about that though. Why?
Because I feel like if you are in a place where the person has not wronged you to a point where you can't be in the same room with them, then like I'm saying there are extenuating circumstances for every situation.
Yeah.
I just feel like that's very, sorry, go ahead.
There are
No, you go, Rob.
It depends on the relationship.
I feel like, especially talking about like familial relationships, like it's very conditioned by other people's sort of social expectations, because like the moments where I have been like very vulnerable and like spelled out the things that my parents have done to me, they're like, but that's your mom. You only have one mom. You're not going to talk to your mom? And I'm like, girl, you can have her.
Yeah.
No, I understand.
So,
and I get that you can
I guess. My follow-up for specifically Tave though is, I feel like having a white parent who asks questions like, "Why do black people act like niggers?" is not, that goes beyond like that goes beyond like some like strife. Like that's some inherent deep down shit that like.
But she has no idea what's wrong. She has not a fucking clue. Like every time I try to have any explanation, man, like not a clue. I mean, you know, it's a thing my dad always talks about, which is, you know, she ignored any situation that would happen to him. And, you know, she always said, like, you know, he's the whitest black dude I know. He can't dance. He can't blah, blah, blah. You know, like that's what she always said about my dad. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's a natural thing. Like, she constantly has a idea of what blackness is, and then comfortably asks questions about it like it's not a problem.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, and I'm also not trying to be antagonistic, Ash. I'm just like trying to dig into your logic on it.
No, absolutely.
It is really jarring to me to hear that your white mom has like that aggressive of a racist like attitude, because like my mom was racist in the way that is covered by like, oh well, I'm colorblind. Like that was her version of racism. Like
my mom thinks she's blacker than black people. That's my mom's issues. Like she literally like thinks she's down and down. Like she said it many times.
What does she think about Rachel Dolezal?
Yeah, no shit. Like no shit. It's a constant conversation. I've heard her say it out of her mouth more times than I can possibly count. But it's the weird thing is it's the way she executes all this is really subtle. Like it's frighteningly subtle. Like it's all with love or it's with kindness, which we talked about in the last episode, which is, you know, kindness or niceness is not the same as
niceness
like
is the word.
Niceness is not the same as being kind. It's not the same as being, you know, actually understanding or empathetic to people.
Which,
oh, bless your heart.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
Since she and I had that conversation 5-ish years ago, where she was really upset and, you know, trying to say like she misses her family and she wants to hang out with her family, and she was trying to talk to me and she was crying about it and pulled the thing that she pulls on you with the, you know, I'm not going to be here forever. And I was sitting across the table, I was like, I'm going to tell you right now, Denise, that doesn't...
That's not a good argument.
No, I was like, that doesn't work on me. Like, it doesn't work on me. So, I would love to be here for you if you need some help, but the guilting, the guilt tripping, that kind of stuff, that's never going to work.
That's that passive aggressiveness that I'm talking about, though.
Yeah.
That right there, that weaponizing shit like that, where you're like, well, I ain't always going to be here. Well, I have news for you. No one that you ever interact with is going to be here forever.
Yeah.
I feel like that level of like constant guilt tripping and shit has just made me like really sensitive to, is this person emoting to me out of a genuine concern, or is this a manipulation? And like sometimes that makes me feel like a robot, because I'm like, girl, what is this about? Like,
yes. Is it that, here's a question, is it that guilt tripping is asking the other person to do more work than the person?
I think that's a part of it. I think a part of it is to make you feel bad that you're not doing whatever it is they want you to do, even if that thing isn't necessarily work. Like it doesn't have to necessarily be labor that they're asking you for. And granted, a lot of these things are steeped in labor, but like I don't think it has to be that either.
I even meant emotionally. Like,
it also goes to when people are emotionally immature or just even emotionally underdeveloped, would be more specifically what I mean. They want another person, they want that relationship to magically make something feel better. And I find with the most passive aggressive people in my life, they're guilt tripping. That's what they're indicating. I am not in that moment magically making what they're feeling better, nor do I care to do so.
Well, it's like
there's a certain amount of like, why aren't you being the perfect daughter, right? If I just had like, you know, my mother had this fantasy of what a Southern daughter was going to be, and I did not fulfill a single one of her fantasies there, right? So when she guilt trips me, she's like, I didn't get what I really wanted out of it.
And I think even at the hardest of hearts, like that sort of behavior is so transparent in that like they desperately want their sort of symbolic representation of like love and a good family, but like they're trying to make other people be that.
Oh, because they don't know how to offer whatever they feel like you should offer, right? So it's almost like you end up being their science experiment.
Well, that's what I mean.
And see what happens.
It was interesting in sort of the moment where the country became more gay affirming. Like, it got to this point where my mom would like send me a message when she like saw gay people on TV and be like, look, gay people. And I'd be like, I don't send you a message every time I see a tampon commercial. Like, what are we doing here? Like, this is not what I asked for. Like, I just want to be a person, you know?
Oh, shit.
Please do that. Please do that.
I saw that blue liquid and I thought of you.
I think this conversation is done. I don't think we can top that. Oh, shit.
I love that.
So good. Yeah.
I want to be a part of that art project.
Well,
all I want is to be a full person, right? I want to have all the right to nuance and, you know, the ability to have multiple facets and not have to fulfill a definition of one of my categorical identities, right? And so the people that have the right to do that, it seems almost like they want something else, and so they're trying to like engage with you on that level. I'm like, I don't actually need that. I don't need what you're after.
Well, I feel like those people who are damaged in that way and are that narcissistic, like, are not able to think of people as more than like categorical associations.
Absolutely.
And so it's like, my mom had a hard time thinking of me as being her son and being gay. But then once she got past that, it was like, you're my son and you're gay, and I need other people to know that I'm accepting. And it's like, girl, what?
I was not asking for that. What are you doing? Yeah, so
no,
actually,
no.
you know,
I suck dick, but I don't send you a message every time, you know? Like,
which would admittedly be
like,
fucking hilarious. But,
hey, mom, currently sucking dick. Be right back.
Like, something that that fucks me up about the gay community is a lot of these problems that we're talking about right now are prevalent in the gay community, particularly like the white gay community, where the same kinds of struggles that I feel like specifically gay people have dealt with are ignored from other people under the like LGBTQ plus umbrella. And when they're brought up, it's that same level of performative like allyship of like, oh, look, I've got a trans friend over here. Look at how trans they're being. Look at me having my trans friend. Yeah. And it's like, girl, I didn't ask for that. Like,
if my profile says I'm mixed, saying, oh, I love black dick is not the compliment you think it is. It's really not.
No, in fact, it means I probably want nothing to do with you. Right? I mean, God, I don't know how many trips on Grindr you've been on, but like, that did not last very long for me because, damn it, like cis men on that website, I'm like, yo, girl, no, that's not what I was looking for.
I mean, honestly, like, I would send people just messages like, did you know that my black dick has spikes? It does. Like, like, I'm just sorry. Like, I would just want to disenfranchise just every idea. Like, my balls crawl up your skin and rip them off your face. That's just how it works with black balls. That's the black ball thing.
They grow daisies at the end.
By the way, this is not safe for work, audience. By the way, this is not safe for work.
Maybe put a note in that at the front end.
Oh yeah, no. I like a good middle note.
Mixer is not necessarily family friendly unless explicitly stated. I did not know that.
I really wanted to know what I could and could not say, but I'm really good at apologizing. So.
There'll just be a 15-minute part where Rob just apologizes for this episode.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
The views of our guests do not necessarily represent Mixer.
Neither do the views of the hosts or the crew of the show or anybody speaking ever don't represent the opinion of the show.
Everyone knew the second that we did the first live show that this needed a parental advisory sticker on the front of the freaking website. Like, none of us were going to behave long enough to make this like family friendly ever.
Yeah, we were definitely nicer in the first episode when we had a live audience, but after that, it's just been pretty much balls and
but even then,
balls.
I still got into a tiff with the fucking white guy. So like,
That's true. Everybody who's missed that, check out the podcast episode for the first one, the podcast on the Mixer. It's not on YouTube, but it was a live show. Check it out. Some people get into some stuff with the white people.
I do.
Yeah, no, like there was like a question from a guy, and I was like, nah.
What did you say, Audra?
I said I did tell people to please monetize their white guilt and give it to us.
Yes.
Oh yeah. Keep that going.
You want to
Keep
pay
that
some
going.
clinics?
Yeah.
Here's our PayPal.
Yeah.
Are you feeling bad? Here's my PayPal.
Oh, yo, I've said this before, but like when people are spouting off like white nonsense on the internet, like I just end it with my fucking Venmo handle now.
But like, why can't I say the N-word? I want to say it. They say it in rap songs.
Well, pay me $25 every time you say it, and you can say it as many times as you like.
No, to pay all of us
I'll still call you out on
$25.
it.
Yeah, you gotta multiply that.
There's
Yeah,
a
you
Yeah, you gotta
licensing
multiply that by
fee.
all black people.
Oh yeah, well at least all brown people that have to hear every time you say it. That's it's $25 for every brown person you
Every
have
brown
to hear
person
say
on
it.
It's
earshot.
like a near field communication.
Yeah.
So like
I've
it's
seen-
triggered by
The
certain words.
NFC is just like boop, boop.
It's like boop, $25.
Yep. Yeah.
I
Oh
think-
wow, I wish I got paychecks like that every time. God damn.
I want some for. I have a whole list of things I would like to get paid for.
All right, I'm starting this app.
Everyone tells
It's
me I'm so
happening.
inspiring. I would like to.
Oh shit.
We should have a T-shirt for the Mixer that the front just says "feeling guilty" and the back has like your Venmo tag.
Yeah. I like it. I will work on that.
No, I could ask Allie to design that shirt.
Oh yeah, do.
That's labor that I could ask of her.
I would wear it.
Oh yeah, all the time. I would have that as my profile picture on all of my socials.
Have a QR code underneath.
Yeah.
People need to like scan. There you go.
I'm gonna keep with my tradition of ruining this for the audio listeners. I really love this red couch.
It is a great red.
I'm sorry, once
Yeah.
that guy got out of the shot, I was like, ooh, red couch.
Yeah, microfiber red couch. I wish I could.
It matches
say-
my glasses.
It does match your glasses.
I've been distracted the whole time, actually. I've been distracted by multiple little color motifs we have on the screen.
Oh, of course.
It's so hard to focus.
I didn't want to like immediately come in with just like aesthetics, but like these red glasses and this red lip is doing it for
I
me.
know.
This is the first time we've met, and I'm feeling you. I'm into it.
Yeah. Oh,
Oh my goodness.
my battery is slowly dying.
I know. I
So-
know. Like my internal battery is slowly.
That's what I mean. My internal myself battery.
Oh, I was gonna say, so go plug yourself in. Come on.
Oh my
Put yourself on the
God,
charger.
amazing.
I have a new thing where, because like you were saying, Ash, going from being a really active person to like, boom, now you can't do shit. Like it's a very like intense culture shock, I think, among other things, right?
Yeah.
But I have this really bad habit of like, if I can't participate in something for the whole time perfectly, then I don't.
Then I
right?
shouldn't do it.
Exactly. So my new thing since quarantine,
Yeah.
so no one has social skills anymore, which honestly I'm really relieved. But
I took a shower
I
for a
think-
telehealth appointment the other day.
what's that?
I took a shower for a telehealth appointment.
Oh yeah, I've been there. Yeah. Been there. Yeah. And then you're like, who the no one needs
Like,
this.
why am I putting on deodorant?
A, if this person cares, fuck them. But B, They don't care.
If they can smell me through my computer, I have other problems.
I did actually shower before this one because I smelled so bad to me that I would not.
Smell yourself.
That's when you've hit the threshold.
Yes.
But I'm like, I am out. Like, I can't interact with my family. I can't. My dog has to go.
I mean,
everybody has to leave.
That's fair.
All tea, I was like looking at different outfits to put on for this, and I was gonna dress up, and then I was like, no, I don't know if that's the vibe.
I have a very
It's not the vibe.
collection.
No.
I woke up in this turtleneck.
Yeah, I am. And my battery is shutting down.
Oh no! Oh, glamour! Just in case you disappear, Glenda.
Although
I'm
we've
disappearing
come.
instantly. Robert, it's really good to meet you. You're
It's
awesome.
really nice to meet you
I like
too.
it.
I'm even better in person.
You're
My lower
adopted.
half is like on fire.
Mine's doing that great right now. But honestly, I'm immunocompromised, so I have no idea when I get to meet you in person.
Yeah,
Mm,
sorry.
That's going to be a good point. Audience, there's going to be something really interesting that's going to happen there. It'd be a joke or maybe a nice thought. You would just be entertained. Just picture that in your head right now. Just kind of meditate on it.
We can all cough into each other's open mouths again. You know?
Someday, one
Just
can
like
only hope.
Like the good old days.
I miss those parties. It was just Mario Kart and coughing into people's open mouths.
I don't miss either of those things, but I do miss hugs.
God, I was so young then.
Audra, the hugs thing is
I'm
real.
sure.
I was gonna say you have no idea, but you have exactly the
I'm hugging you right now, Josh. Audience, listening audience, you have no idea what I'm doing, but totally.
You're hugging someone / maybe singing a shanty?
Hug shanty. Hug shanty.
What's a really, really colicky baby? Like, I just...
Wait. I have no sense of...
Is colic too soon? Is it too soon for colic jokes?
I have no sense of scale. Audra, how tall are you?
I'm not very tall. I'm
Okay, that's a dodge. But well, I'm gonna simulate this for you. Oh no.
And I love it.
No, you disappeared.
Well, if my camera wasn't so finicky, you would have been embraced into my bosom.
Oh.
Based on your answer, may or may not be.
I'm gonna leave now.
Okay. Bye.
Bye, Audra.
Bye for
Bye.
Bye. Bye. Oh,
And actually, you know what?
died.
We're we're right at about 2 hours. Thanks everybody for listening. Thanks for everybody having a good time in the conversation. Yet again, our guest Robert Montez,
Sayone.
and we've got
That's
Ashley
me.
Litchford. We've got the Josh Dent.
Yeah.
Thanks again, everybody. Glasses up. We'll be doing this again in probably about 2 weeks. You can check us out on YouTube at The Mixer Legal Brew, or at legalbrew.com, or